Mic check, mic check. Yep, we're good. We're locked in. You put out a lot for sure. Yeah. All right. Woof. What do we got? Ooh, that's right. So back to the theory, right? Contraction, expansion, right? It's just the natural way of the market. Contraction, expansion. I ain't saying it's going up like that. Same thing happens down here. However, through all of this right now, I mean, you are still maintaining price for the most part inside of this range. Now that makes life easy because I don't trade in range. I do not trade in range. If anybody is in here, if you ever learn anything, there's a lot of things you should learn from me, but like if you learn anything, that's one of my main key things to not lose money. Contraction and max pain are brother and sister. If you know what max pain is, it's just when your contract's on both sides. Nobody wins. And that's when that consolidation is coming to an end, that's when I come and I look for the opportunity to take a contract or buy a position because that contraction obviously leads to expansion. But in the meantime, you can kind of develop or build a trade plan on what you're looking to happen. Now, when you move in the weekly, you can just draw a box around it. But when you move down to the 24-hour, right, you can actually see that inside of its own range, inside of cost basis, right, it is doing the same thing. This has gone past that 1, 2, 1, 2. It really even hasn't. It's almost paused in the middle. Now, this is beneficial because this gives you an edge, right? You can now use that 1230 or 1236 as a potential entry, which you bounced off today. Or you could look for a break over 1550. Now, target wise, that's where things get a little crazy because I have a target or potential target of 1784 is an old floor, but a first green candle to our left is $20. And so those would be two potential upside targets. Now, because inside of a box, you don't have to have a bias. You could just react and not be silly. If we did break underneath that 1232, you don't want to take a short at a major floor, right? You want a candle close outside of it or a break, to it. But with that being said, if we saw that 1232 leave, then it would be around 1050 that you would likely reach. At that point, you're still in a box. There's no guarantee for that break. Again, this just gives you the ability to not have to experience buying at a rejection or buying at a bounce, buying a put at a bounce, and now you're fucking down immediately, or buying a call when it breaks right off the top and it gets sucked right back in. Right? This is going to help you avoid that because now you can use something, and this is rare. Honestly, I don't see this very often, but given the opportunity that this presents, yeah, you could use that. Now, the same, again, empty space is on both sides. So you could develop a theory, right? I would say you're more bullish than anything at the moment, obviously holding up against these market dumps. This does exude a little bit more bullishness, at least at the moment. But again, you don't have to be right. You just got to be patient and know where that tension breaks because that's how you're going to make your money. All right. Again, what's up on the equity side? No, I got sweaty, but I didn't get stopped out. Yeah, yeah, a little bit. A little sweaty. All right, BA. Oh God, the demon himself. Uh, so again, when it's not clear, when I zoom in, I can see it a little bit clearer and what it looks like. And this is again not a place for me to trade. I don't. But you are literally right between the both of them. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 bounces. So I would bank on, I mean, it looks like it could possibly go up and reach this floor, but how do I find that out without just making a rash assumption like that? I move down into a lower time frame. And well, yeah, we do have a sign right here that you could potentially keep going higher as the candle does look like it's set to potentially close above 234.50, which has been control since the 30th of January. So that control is lost. Now that I've moved to a lower time frame, the floor shifts down. It's here. That's 239.89. Now what's above you? Not fucking empty space on the 4-hour. Let's go here to the 2. Now things are starting to really clear up. Can you see it? You see why that's our target now? And now the 4 and the 2 are in confluence, meaning, and I know some of you guys are like, what the fuck is he saying? If you stick around for 2 weeks, it becomes you'll pick up on this stuff. And if you have questions, obviously this isn't like ideal. I'm trying to, obviously we're looking for potential swing trades and stuff like that. But after hours, I'm happy to answer questions if you write them down. You can ask questions, but I might not have time to answer super long, detailed ones. The Qs kind of failed that little move up. But anyway, with BA, I would say at least maybe a 239.59 retest. Again, as long as price can close outside of that control. It does look like on the 15-minute, your next target is 237.59, and that would give you a clean break into the tiniest little shit spit space of 240s right there. So you'll see that little pocket of empty space. You'll see a pop right up there. And at that point, if you're looking for anything further, right, you're going to revert back to the 24-hour where you would still have to move through this. This is not a box. This is not a box. What days till expiration do I like? So I let the chart tell me that. When I see a good setup, that's how I determine what expiration I'm going to take on that trade. For example, the Qs, I knew that this wasn't going to be a straight line, so I took March. There's other opportunities where have nothing in front of us to stop price, and that's when I'll take shorter expiration contracts. And the target that I am choosing is typically the strike price, and those are farther out of the money, which makes them really, really low risk. But obviously, knowing what I know about how empty space fills up on higher time frames, that's why you guys are seeing that or have seen the percentages that you've seen on my stream. If you're new here, I'll show you in a minute, or you can go look at my TikTok videos and see that because it's nuts. All right, what else do we got? We got BA. We got. Oh yeah, you read somewhere that 60%. Oh yeah, dude. ODTEs, bro. It's got to be the biggest cash supplier of all time for them. Abbott. You just had to bring me back, didn't you? No, I was kidding. Um, okay, so we touch structure. Okay, and you can just look to your left, right, and you'll start to see what's happening here. Let's go to the 24. Look, it's a fight for the floor. Sellers don't want it, want you to have it. Obviously, buyers keep coming down to the bottom. It doesn't look bad. Let's go to the 4-hour. So again, empty space up above you. Okay, I mean, you're a little loosey-goosey there, but okay, so I do like the fact that you did come down, and again, everything is run by boxes. By the way, if you are watching my stream right now, another really important detail that you'll notice about my charts is that I do use the 24-hour, and I do not leave any extended hours data off. So it's 24 hours with, over here at the bottom left-hand corner, session, it's extended hours. I do this because for some reason, somebody decided that we were only going to be tracking volume from 9:30 in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon when million and billionaires fucking place orders in after hours pre-market, and all of that price matters. And obviously those of you guys in the Discord probably know why. There is 318 people on my TikTok right now. That's why I'm explaining a lot. Okay, Abbott does have a hourly target and break. So I'm going to go ahead and just pin this one like this. Abbott needs to get outside of 111.91, 112. That translates on the hourly 30-minute. Look at the oh god. No. How do I make that go away? There we go. Look at that. Look at that. That is control. Beautiful control. That sounded a little psychopathic. I'm not gonna lie. 112. So that's where I would be looking for that potential move up. So I love Papa Potter says, "Can I get a kiss?" No kiss today. I have the flu, brother. Or I'm just getting, just getting it out of my system. Do I need a U.S. stock market bundle on TradingView? Yes, you do, Mamma Mia. And also, I do on my YouTube channel, which you're only going to see half of. Why am I looking at my own channel? Come on, Garrett. You can go right here, go to playlist, and educational, which is over here on the right, that playlist right here. And then also I update, pre-market, post-market. I haven't done that in like a week just because I've been pretty sick. So, all right, back to habit. Well, that's about it actually. So anyway, what I would focus on if you're focusing on this on the lower time frame is while this is a stupid little range, it still does have cost basis. Even if you see consolidation, consolidation still deserves a box. Is it a box? No, but the whole concept behind the box. Um, Really quickly, for anybody who's new here, second. So I just want to show you guys like kind of a just the latest example. Or the what was the Dow? Was it Dow? Yeah, fuck that. I'll just show you from of a play that just happened. So really quickly, I'm going to explain my strategy. If you're new here, Potter box strategy is looking for the 50% mark of a box to break after a floor has been lost, like this. It lost, or in this case, with the box underneath us, it was to come back down, right? And punch through its 50% mark. I would be guaranteed a new low, or in this case, if this breaks, I'm guaranteed a new high. That's my theory. I don't even think it's a fucking theory anymore. It's just how market mechanics work. I'm completely convinced by the money in my pockets. But with that being said, $32, the first green candle to your left through that empty space, that's what gives these trades their edge. If there's nothing up in front of you to stop you and you just unpacked all of this volume, you got to juice. And if you notice, that green candle is exactly what you're fighting with. However, those of you watching Dow could be looking at that 33.75 since you're not up against an incredible amount of. But the strategy itself is simple, and it should be, because people who trade like ICT and stuff, dude, it's like, man, let's find 400 definitions for every single thing and then try to not have analysis paralysis. All right, ELF earnings is today. It is, and I obviously am invested in this one. This is our favorite. So I have two things, right? Because there is so much empty space underneath us, and I am not take. So really quickly, this is not an options trade. I purchased ELF equity earlier or last year, and I'm looking for this empty space up into the 122s to get filled, as I've done before. We actually did this exact same thing through here, punching back and filling up all of that empty space. This is literally how I simplify my investing. I look for opportunities like that, and I use the same strategy I do for options, just on a higher time frame, and now I don't have to worry about an expiration. Cost basis responds, you punch through, and that empty space plus earnings gets filled. Now, one of the things that brought, we were like, okay, well, our ELF is an empty space going into earnings, so there's really nothing to stop us. Now, in this case, we're up against the only thing that can stop us, which is really $90. This is not much of a concern at all. And so the price target beyond this, and what I'm looking for, if we or if this is a bullish earnings, is that $100 mark. If we can grab onto that floor, I think we get it. I will be using shortish expiration contracts for the $57 strike. That is to hedge myself. I'm not interested in trying to trade this on earnings. The contracts for earnings or trading them on earnings have crazy spreads and are really, really hard to trade. So, all right. Tesla down. Yeah, so that's another one that I'm watching personally too as we get towards the end of the day. And sure as shit, as the system, sometimes I hate it. It's like, damn it, I know that cost space is going to try to hold, and damn Skippy, it did. And it does have empty space underneath us. Not a lot, but I do think that tomorrow it would be kind of nice to gap up if we're bearish, because if we gap up, then we can gap fill down. But this is cost basis on Tesla. Zooming out, right? It's the only thing that's really separating us from, again, if you just were paying attention on TikTok, that empty space. And if it doesn't make sense to you like this, if I flip my chart upside down and I show you this, right? It's the same point. Check this out. See that wick? That's the universal hold. We lose this, and I am under the strong belief that we would target that in this case ceiling, but it looks like the floor, and then right there at 354. Cost basis is thank you for asking. That is the 50% mark of a box. That's it. Hello? Oh, I'm okay right now. All right. How do I feel about the market as a whole right now? There's a lot of heavy bearish energy occurring, and a lot of stocks are starting to slip and fall ahead of said market, i.e., coin, right? And a hefty amount of other stocks that are moving in the same direction, with or without the Qs, or with or without the with SPY. So, all right, above BA is QCOM. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't look at that. Yeah. Hold on, let me disable this streamer mode. There we go. Okay, good chart. Well, let me look at your chart here. Okay, good channel. Good channel work. I like that you boxed that up. Yeah, it looks like you tapped the top and got yanked back underneath cost basis. However, I would mark that out as a range, and that's the empty space that you're looking for. You'll notice that that green candle over here to your left is what those candles couldn't grab. So what do you think the answer is on that? Right? If you couldn't grab it then, but you can now, or you do over that high. So let me bring this over to my chart. What was that time frame? It was a 24-hour. So let me erase this. Okay, you're zoomed in. Okay, so now I see it. So look, we're going to make this really simple. Do you see the tops? Look, candle closed, 24-hour. 1, 2, 3. So disturbing the presence of sellers and causing price to go up? Absolutely. That's going to be 158. I don't doubt shit like that, right? That's automatic. What's directly up above it? Obviously, is going to add that extra sauce. So one of your first targets, once you grab that floor, would be 163. You have a gap to fill. Oh, no, that's already been filled. What needs to happen in order for you to get there? Well, you got to stop sucking. That's first. Stop the suckage, and you could possibly make this work. That doesn't obviously wicking down and being pulled back down to the floor, not good. But you have persevered and pulled yourself back up against cost bases. So tomorrow, that's your only monster. If you can get through that, that's your play to the upside. Oh, is that earnings? Oh, son of a bitch. I hate when I do detailed earnings. Well, everything I just said is true, except for now you have a potential major catalyst. So one of our checklists for earnings is to go and just look at earnings. Does it move? Yeah, I think this one does decently move. Yeah, pretty big dump right there. That one was not great. That one would have crushed you. That also would have crushed you, possibly. That was awesome. That was definitely a good one. Now, what about down? Let's look at the weekly. It's not the clearest chart in the entire world, I gotta say. Okay, now, let's get rid of all of that because look at this. Kind of hanging on by a thread here. Now, you pulled yourself up off of this 122 floor ages ago, pulled yourself back up, retested the highs, and then got yanked all the way back down to the lows. And the only opportunity I see back up is if earnings can, again, everything that I just said on that 24-hour time frame, if you can punch through that 156, then maybe we see the 170s. But and then, you know, obviously the chart that you channel that you put it down, it would look like that. You know, I think that would potentially support that. But that's an interesting. What do the contracts look like on that one? Would it ever not very expensive? All right, I'll look at that in a second. Would it be late to enter SoFi, or would it be too late to enter SoFi again for the continuation of the 24-hour closes under range it's in? So I mean, you know, no, it wouldn't be. You can still take this trade, right? And as far as I'm concerned, you know, I'm still holding. Beautiful retest, actually, beautiful. And you ripped up really fast, so that's good juju. That is the thread up at 21. But if a retest did occur and we held this floor for a couple of days, yes, if the opportunity presented itself to take this down, you would have a 1938 target, an expected bounce, and then you would have a straightforward 1850 target. So yeah, And as far as I'm concerned, I mean, this still is pretty fucking bearish. So thank you for the follows, guys. Thank you for the likes. A lot of you guys in here. If you're new, again, go to my YouTube channel. There's a lot of free game on there. And again, if you're go look at my videos going years back, well, not on this profile. Actually, speaking of, you can follow my I do post on two different profiles because my last one, my lives just were getting banned for, yeah, I don't know why. We're not going to talk about that, but I kept getting banned. There. I was just what's up, Buffett? All right. So that profile that I just added into the stream, that's the one that you guys can go and follow as well. You can go check and or go look at what we do here. Obviously, the percentage gains that we're able to achieve. Um, Weekly punchback on cop. What the hell is going on with my chart? Oof. You really want me to work, huh? I guess you ain't lying, are you? You ain't fucking lying. That is a weekly punchback in motion. Now we should still expect this to be a weekly punchback. So longer expiration's got to be the move. This could be for sure quantified as empty space directly up above you, and this is great, man. You're actually explaining the strategy like a G. You don't just what? Yeah, dude. Because this is what's important. People get reeled in by people flexing gains or cars or clothes or whatever the fuck. But like, can you actually help people? And that's really what I would want to see if I that's case study. Does this thing work? So yeah, honestly, I mean, I can't. There is empty space to 122, so I can't hate on that at all. I mean, great takeoff today too to get it started. So the expiration obviously is the biggest concern on that one. I would say concern. So what strategy do I use? One that I created a couple years ago, the Potter Box strategy, PBS for short, does not stand for peanut butter sandwich. All right. You were about to hit me with it. I could feel it. I could feel it. What are we doing down? Mm-hmm. That's mad funny. I One of my friends when he first started to figure like learning what I was doing, he started sending me videos from like people all over. He's like, "Dude, this guy's saying the market's gonna crash. What do you think?" And I'm like, "Oh God, dude, chill out, brother." It's like, don't get wrapped up, man. You gotta be able to see that what they're doing is like, is it working for people, man? So, mm-hmm. Yeah. I stopped trying to explain this shit to people. You know what I mean? Like to an extent, to people who are not interested. At this point, like even in public or like with like Ellie's friends' parents or something like that. Like oh, I'm just a technical analyst in the financial markets, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah. Anyway, all right. Do you bet on sports? Nah, I don't bet on sports, man. I just don't understand some of your boxes. It doesn't make sense to me where you put them. Um, so let me walk through that. Obviously, we're doing a little it's 3:30 right now, man. I got to get through these requests. Save your guys' questions. Um, for 4 o'clock, and I'll be happy to answer some more of those. But so you want this down, right? But obviously, it's ripping up. So my first thing is, don't go against the grain until the grain is broken, I guess, if you will. And right now, man, I mean, you're pushing off of 49. So I would be looking up towards what could potentially stop it. And that's not until you get to 56.31. And I drew that wrong. That's trash. So you just asked me, and I was just trying to find an opportunity to explain it to you without breaking. Look, do you see this? Now, it doesn't have my traditional waves. It's not super clean, like this example I was about to show you, but completely forgot a second ago. Um, oh, that mercy. There. Wait, where is it? Oh, I'm on the weekly. That's why I can't find it. So, like, boxes for me should look like this. So, everybody who's watching, pay attention. This is what it's looking like. Points of contact, there should be three. One, two, three, one, two, punch back. That's the third. One, two, or excuse me, yeah, one, two, one, two. I'm sorry, I skipped one. One, two, three, one, two, and then you gap up over that high and you rip. And these boxes, when you gap, that's actually one of the rules is once you gap up above a box, typically you're going to run into that next target before you stop. And so the concept is, simple. We're looking for these 24-hour box. If you do not have your 24-hour chart, though, you are not going to see this. If you do not have the 24-hour chart with extended data, and again, ask yourself, why are we counting all of that data out? Why does everybody do this? As if only trading volume matters. So if you're tracking all your data off of what other small trading, I mean, essentially the 80 to 90% of market movement is outside of trading hours. So what are we doing ignoring it? That's my theory. Anyway, so with EMPH, you would need to obviously find yourself up against one of these resistances. And then from there, man, if you're really trying to get a short, again, when you can't see it, if you're on the 24-hour and you just see a green bar, the only way that you can really, again, make this work or figure, look at it. The 2 hour is sitting on cost basis. So what do you think the answer is? Below 49.33, that's your highest probability of reaching back down. If that's what you're looking for, that might work as a retest, but the trajectory is up. I should be live tomorrow before the open. Last night was, yeah, that was energy consuming. Like getting kicking the fever. The hell was that? All right. SMCI up. I mean, and it had earnings, right? And it didn't go anywhere. It didn't even go anywhere today. Is that am I seeing that correctly? Yeah. Wow. I would say at this point it's still 35.50. The 24-hour is fighting up against that floor. I mean, you did get pushed back down and then propped yourself back up. Let's look at the hourly and look at that. You're building a box as per usual. So, I mean, that makes the ability to react that much easier. You're looking for a 34.22 hourly candle close outside of that box to reach up to that 35.50, 35.40 that I'm talking about. So, all right. Let's see. What about you guys on TikTok? What are you guys looking at? See if we can't find a potential banger. That's a lot of empty space, my boy. That's a lot. And I think the last time I did analysis on this one, I really, because of, I mean, some companies, man, empty space never gets filled up because it's just, you can't convince people to fucking buy that shit. That's why I stick to those stocks that have volume. But in this case, the first target would be 19, and then the second target would be 22.50. But this is a day by day, week by week thing that you're having to, I mean, it's doing well. And it is building and then removing or moving through that structure that it builds. So as of right now, I mean, I would be trying to stay above 1632. I mean, it does obviously look good. Upside, there is a taste of a channel in here somewhere. That does look like the channel that you might be operating in as well. So Tesla feels a little bearish. It is very much sitting at the trigger. It bounced today off of it. So tomorrow I'm looking for a retest both at 414 and 418. If it happens incredibly quickly and then fades out, then that could be just a retest, and we could be looking at the higher time frame for a punch down below this extremely significant level. Held, build, held. And if that is lost, obviously 382, but mostly 367 and 354, especially if the market is truly going to turn over. So, um, Meta. That one, so this one just dropped its teeth right into that 675, and I mean it's trying right now to hold. So again, like Tesla, look at it, um, above 677, right? Above those, because it's on the higher time frame, just holding on as hard as it can. If it does lose this level, though, I have a pretty clear target of 658 and then 642. At that point, if you were to lose those levels, that's when we're talking about some real red, possibly down into the 610s, which this is mostly empty in the most recent price action. So, do you ever play the guitar while streaming? I don't think that's why people are watching me. And I think if they watched me play guitar, they may never watch me again. So, you that, hold on. I mean, I'm not bad. I'm just not. I've never performed, so I'm not that guy. You, I gotta read this message. Hold on, this is crazy. You that go to school should not be able to be on here. What was that? You that go to school should not be able to be. I haven't. Well, you can't. I'm going on 41. You said Ellie could. Yeah, you're right. I probably should ask her. That's just a funny message. I wasn't actually sure, but all right. Oh boy. All right, what else are we looking at? Do you wait for the candles to close before you take trades? It depends. I set up lower time frames. So if I find a higher time frame setup, I do top down analysis so that if I need to, I have an entry on a lower time frame if that breaks intraday. But yes, as when I'm looking at the end of the day, if that candle's closing up against or outside of, that is when or even right up against a floor, just a floor. It doesn't even have to be a box. Yes. All right. Let's see here. Lulu up. Keep dropping your requests, guys. And once 4 o'clock hits, well, I've been gone for a while and I've got some brain power left, so that's not. Oh man, you start. Oh man, I'm trying to slip into some. They got men's yoga pants, right? I'm trying to slip in. You know what? I don't even care what kind of yoga pants they are. Put me in them. That looks pretty damn good. Don't tempt me. Oh man. I'm not saying tomorrow because I know how Lulu works. But boy, if this isn't a killer setup, if triggered, trigger 182 to get started, you'd then have, and this is something, listen, there's so many different ways. Like I could be saying this to you, and a day trader could find a trade on this, a scalper could find a trade on this, and swing trader or whatever you are, you could find a trade on this one. That one, that's the cage. That's where you're being held down. You can see that. And this is why the 24 hour is so crisp. You see the candle closes holding right there. You see the candle closes over the top. So what do we need to do? We need to get back up over 182. We look at the 4 hour. Okay, you're building kind of it's a very whippy box. And I like the fact that if you really zoom in, look, you popped up and then you pulled back and retested. So that does show some pretty gnarly strength. Um, yeah, man. Last time I tried to trade Lulu was like trying to get into wet yoga pants. That shit was tough. But we did talk about exactly what is happening right now. And I mean, literally, it's perfect. So my thing is here, and it's not I might take a little speculative trade on this one by the end of the day. It's 341. We'll look at the contracts, what the contracts looking like. That's 2 days out. Feels a little irresponsible, but I do want to keep it low risk. So, okay, so let me explain this for somebody who's, or anybody who's not been in here. A couple things have to happen. Actually, here, let me borrow my old drawing because that's exactly what the fuck I'm looking for. So I just want to make this clear. I suspect that this area of empty space will build range. So taking a trade from here to here, that's okay, right? That could be a good trade. That is a good trade, actually. So we'll put that on the watch list absolutely for tomorrow. But I suspect that if this goes well, or it goes the way that we want it to, which might not be the way you want it to, but if we want the bigger move, here's what we want to see. Come here, I need you again. I want to see that space filled up, right? It doesn't have to prolong itself that long, but what I'd like to do is kind of price in again a series. This is a stock with a lot of empty space, and a potential. I mean, I'm not shaking a stick at it, but yeah, 312 could be a potential target here. Overhead seems like yeah, this is weekly wall. So looking at Lulu, it is not confirmed yet, but it is looking amazing to potentially start trending back up. So we'll definitely keep this one on the radar. If you're already in, knock yourself out. You do have a good stop loss, I think, of 176.50, which I'll probably utilize as well. And then the contracts for the 185.80s. Now you could play a strike outside of that. The spread's it's a $10 spread, but those contracts aren't badly priced. So you don't have to put a full-size position on that one since it's not outside of the top of that box, but I just grabbed a little bit of the 185s for tomorrow. Keep it low risk, high reward. There's definitely room for continuation in there. Yeah. How about Coinbase? I'm staying away from that one for sure. What song do I prefer to play? I have a song I put together that I've really been fond of lately, but I can't. I'm not a. Hold on, let me think about how I say this. I'm not yet this skilled musician to like put it all together. So I miss playing with people, man. That's really, obviously when I was younger, jams. I used to jam for hours, weeks, fucking with my friends. So uh Hood has ER on and it really, man, if Google does end up legging down tonight, we're gonna be in a pretty position. I think we could be reaching that 599. Hood has earnings, correct? Okay, so I don't like the fact that you've already dumped. I mean, I just don't. The fact that you've already moved so much, definitely doesn't take away from the potential, but you do have a box directly up in front of you. So I could say maybe a 73.55 target. So let me make something really clear. When I go into earnings, I want a stock that is curled up. So just a quick example, I have like certain trades that are like burned in my mind because they were perfect. And that's the way it ought to be, right? But this was coiled, right? You don't want to get a coil, that's already expanded. We're not trying to fucking um, play something that's already spent. But this, right? One, two, three, little dip, right at cost basis going empty space to the upside. That's clear. So when I look at something like this, right, for an earnings trade, I think, well, shit, you already kind of did it all. you know. And I personally, I think that's where I lose my edge, right? Is because I most of my trades, and that's okay. You stick by what makes sense to you. Obviously, that makes money to you. Um, but this doesn't have that, and so with that, it's really kind of anybody's. I don't want to say anybody's guess, but like there's a target at the downside. I think you could sit on for sure, but anything extra, I mean, that would be maybe 66, but that would possibly be trending over the next couple of days. So I have a headache. Hold on. What are all those screenshots and image tabs? Uh, you don't want to know. This was a joke. I sent this last night, and I said the flu can't live in my Zen-rich blood, but zoofluenza. I'm basically giving the virus a horseshoe, and this was 3 o'clock in the morning, and my whole fam. I'll tell you guys this shit at after hours. Every one of my Peyton, Ellie, and Ao all had 101, 102 fevers. They were all like I went to go check on all of them. Peyton fever dreaming. She was talking about like popcorn shells or something to me. I was like, when did you give the kids medicine? She's like describing the outside of a popcorn shell to me. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go check on myself. I go into Ao's room, same thing. Not popcorn, but it was an interesting night. But the rest of these are just juicy, succulent gains that the Discord was able to produce today. Or yeah, fucking A, dude. I mean, just redonkulous. All right, what else do we got? It is 3:48. NRG down. Oh my god. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Big Poppy. I've never called anybody that, but listen, you could be Big Poppy. That that is wild. Now, I got to do one last test here because how does it dump? It's never been this high. Or yeah, it has not been. Okay, so you're it's a resilient little bugger, but damn, yes, you are. And how many times have you been at this floor? One, two, three. What does the weekly look like? The weekly one, two, three wicks off of the box up above it. So multiple rejections driving you down to the floor. The floor is here. That's what you are holding it. But if that is lost, then the first natural target would be the open on that weekly candle at 135.95. And yeah, you would and could look for another target at 128.87. And I mean that's obviously I mean I would be out maybe until end of summer type shit. But again, you're going to need to have an awareness of what's below on the lower time frame. So that 145 can't happen. You got too much empty space right here that could get filled up before you go down, and you will fill up that empty space before you do that, especially at a major weekly floor, which is why expiration is going to be very important on that one. I'm putting that one on the watch list for sure. I don't even feel like I have to jump the gun on that one. I don't think, but yeah, I could see a little retest actually right up there to 148.55. And if it rips fast, that's where you can look for that reversal. Do I trade futures, Gavin? I don't personally, but there are a lot of people who are past and are funded and getting payouts inside of the Discord. So yeah, my strategy it works if it's a market, man. I mean, this shit works on corn futures, dude. I seen it with my own eyes. Starbucks could look good for tomorrow. Which direction, Zane? Oh my God, you might be right. You know what though? Up. That's it, right there, dude. Like that. That makes my job and your job super easy. Obviously, you got a lot to work through, And it's right here, right now, that you're trying to break over that edge, right? This is a small lower time frame punchback, and you are trying to push over those highs. So I would say that, yeah, 90, because of the empty space, uh, and it's not that empty, not as empty as I thought. But on the 30 minute, it is, that above that, you could start working your way into that area. Now let's zoom out. That's earnings. Oh, fuck that. I'm sorry. I forgot that was earnings. Yeah, it's just 98. I mean, yes, this is an earnings bar and there is volume in it, but I mean, I would want to see that same resistance broken again. Look at this wick right here. That's a lot of push. So, I mean, already you're in a it's not a bad little position. Then the targeting, that's where it gets a little weird, but I mean, I would still be looking for the same long target of like 110, up at these highs. What do I think of ONDS? 352. Oh my God, it's hot in here. Assalamu alaikum, dude. What's up? What do I think about ONDS? I think that it's sitting on top of some major structure, and appropriately it bounced. And now that we're on the 4 hour, that's going to shift up. And oh, baby, I love how this shit just makes sense and we don't have to guess. Do you see the wick from today? That was today's attempt at getting back out of the cage. When you fall in a cage, you got to break out of the cage to get out of the cage. And you didn't do it today, but obviously we can go to the lower time frame and we can look at what's stopping you and what needs to happen. Now you have a little wide fluctuation in price, so there could be a little channel here, but what did you break to get here? You broke above that floor, you just retested it, and what stopped you? This small range here, and it's 50% mark as per usual. And so now, again, the liberty of taking a position off of a even lower time frame setup like this is very palpable. You could look for these two structures, 98. It's already the fact that it went up there, rejected, filled its empty space back down, or at least retested. So now I know it's 98, 99.85, which again correlates or is in confluence beautifully with that higher time frame. So right now, still bearish, but if you can break those, yes, then so that's what I would be looking for. Is that triggered now? No. Oh my God. How is algo trading a scam? A scam. There are no shortcuts, guys. You have to. I'm sure. I mean, you could trade and your own AI to help you with your own strategy. I've seen it. There's people in my Discord who are doing it. They're utilizing AI. That's totally a real thing. But a AI trading bot that does everything for you, it's easy marketing. It's easy money, honestly. I mean, shit. If I just sold you guys a fucking AI bot that said buy or sell, do you know how many buy sell indicators there are for free? And not for free. I mean, people are ridiculous with the shit, and I've never met anybody who's like, "Yeah, my entire 401k is just absolutely gushing over with my new AI trading bot." If I hear that, then let me look at it. But until that day, everybody on this fucking app and everybody on every other app is trying to sell you a lifestyle or recycled bullshit that they found on the internet and copied and pasted. I mean, it's unfortunate, but I don't want to hear what you have to say about bull flags. That shit's old news. I want to hear about heading. I mean, that's not a strategy. It's not even a strategy. It's just a recognition of something that you can. There's people who have done the work for you. You don't even have to go and do the work. There's a website called chartpatterns.com, and there's a dude who just back tested all of these fucking charts or all of these patterns, and it tells you that they suck for the most part. Inverse head and shoulders has a pretty high return, and obviously I use that with my strategy if I do spot it, but that's it. It doesn't make the play for me. I still use the box. Mark, what's going on, man? Mark says, stay away from me. What's going on in there, Ivy? What's going on in there? He's that's just leave me alone. You want me to play that song? I got that song. Oh shit. Mark is having an episode. It's okay, Mark. Whenever you're done, let's get this money, all right? All right. CI is coiled for ER. Okay. 24-hour time frame. Empty space up above, sure. Death down below, also. I mean, I'm gonna give this a fucking $300 target. I mean, I'm. It's not Cinderella, but it's actually not that bad. A good, you got a nice little range, higher highs. Obviously, if something terrible happens, I would say 225. Sorry, 228.75 would be the target to the downside. But because you are coiled like that, not really leaning in one direction or another. I mean, you tapped the highs today, you stayed in range. So, but looking at the empty space, I'd say maybe $300. We'll take a look at that. Right, Microsoft up. So still holding that 50% median, right? But not outside of that 423 cage. So you're still good on that one. Um, okay, retest. So you could be close to a punch down, right? Two here. I mean, you're holding there. You definitely still have some opportunities to the upside here. So I think as of right now, you're okay. But if the Qs end up flushing down, that is something that we know that Microsoft still is sitting in nothing and still has a potential target down here at 393. So, I mean, I think this one is still holding itself up rather well. It's actually right now as we speak curling itself back up. So yeah, you know what? I think right there with that bounce as we get to the end of the day, that's going to put you at least staying in that bullish range. But obviously, we can pin that 411 or that cost basis as the downside. So. Potter, why such a short expiration for Lulu? Because it just has not triggered, but I do not mind putting some low risk on a shorter term opportunity in front of us. So that's why I'm doing that. You find me a bot that helps people make 3, 4, 500% trades on their options, 1,000% trades options. I guess I'm out and the bot's in, but I still haven't seen it. In watch your face and feet off because you can go to jail. Mark, brother, I want to help you, but I can't do it right now. We gotta figure out what's going on. All right, ALK, juicy. Still that 57 target. Actually looks pretty good. JPM up. All right, 1 minute, guys, or probably less than 1 minute here. Yep, no, that's 4 o'clock right there. All right, you have 15 minutes to decide if you want to hedge on any of the ETFs. We have some earnings to look at. JPM has an overhead target of 320. Downside. Oh, you're looking up. That is so literally above those highs. No, you're not moving directly up into. Oh, yeah, that's right. We did discuss this. There is empty space up to 324. I just say maintain. Say yeah, actually same floor 316. Just you have to stay above that structure that you built. You got a great balance. The only thing I'm not super pleased with is the three rejections off the top, and the empty space down below. So that's about it. All right. This app is not safe, Potter. Oh, I know that. I'm well aware. I'm in grave danger. Visa. Oh, let's see what Google is. Google moving. Empty space. Maybe 342 if you can bounce right up in there. That's empty space at least to this floor. And up there. All right. What else has earnings tonight? Oh, let me see. I got the chart right here. What's today? It's Wednesday. That's right. Okay, so Google. Let's see what ARM is doing. I don't think we looked at ARM. Oh man, you better hope that doesn't move. Man, one day that's gonna make a killer trade to the upside. Killer. Not today though. Watch it rip up it. It's actually over 108 that this thing does have the ability to go to cost basis. People ask man for WhatsApp number. I don't have WhatsApp. Sorry, man. Thank you guys for tapping your screen. I appreciate you. Especially all of you guys who are new here. Thanks for the follows. All right. Ooh, somebody lit up the gains page again. I want to see. Oh my God. Look at that. Nailed fasty now. I know I say it wrong. I do it on purpose. Now that's a juicy meatball right there. I did. Yeah, I'm proud of you guys. All of you. So now you guys see I'm helping you grow. You know what I mean? I by putting you in the fire, and you come out like a phoenix, dude. It's beautiful. Chad, that was beautiful. Everybody, just round of applause.
Google's dumping.
Google's dumping. Say it ain't. I kind of wanted to happen. Oh my God. Yes. Yes. Don't get too excited. Reel it in. All right. I gotta have my plums investigated because that's the first thing that I saw was that dumpy, dude. Look at that. Right to the target.
Going down.
QCOM is? Oh, send me to bear heaven right now, baby.
I took a 300 put on Google, but I don't know if it's going to get there.
Brother, you might be in luck. Whee!
I went 310 this morning.
Hot damn, son. Well, thanks to what I've learned from you, I made a little over 300% on an IW input this morning. God damn. Look at that. No guru. Just financial wellness. Kim K will save Nike. Brother, don't fucking... Don't start. That is the funniest shit in the world. That's like saying Kim Kardashian saved Fortnite. I could not believe that. I've hopped on Fortnite and I saw, and I'm just gonna be candid here. I just saw a big dump truck on this digital character. I'm like, yo, what? And I'm like, Peyton, come look at this. And she's like, what? I'm like, who? She's like, that's Kim Kardashian. I'm like, why? Why?
It was Cardi B.
Elf
No.
just read. Take a little
Brother,
selfie.
Don't get too excited. Not yet.
I'm not.
Don't get it.
I'm
Don't.
not.
Once it gets above there, then we can celebrate. My wealth grows. No, I was kidding. Made 350% on Apple today. Took box to cost basis above. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go, dude. You guys are killing it, man. I'm a proud Potter Box Papa. That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. Yeah, I need Elf to do its, come on, get ready with me routine. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's stop looking at it. All right.
Take a look at our friend APP.
Why you keep bringing me back to this, dude?
Because,
Stop!
dude, I love it.
We
My
missed it.
favorite stock.
We missed it. It's okay. Hurt yourself again, Potter. Yep. That PP is gone. Let's see how are we holding that low? But I tell you what, that's still if it cannot listen, when you bounce, you got to recover something. Now you did grab that floor, but you got to flip that candle back over. And that's where obviously and it's really kind of beautiful because you know that's going to happen. I don't have any stake in Google, but my hope is that it does hold those lows.
Do y'all not have a favorite stock?
Do I not have what?
A favorite stock?
Do I have a favorite stock?
Yeah. I know
Uh,
one guy's got Tesla, one guy's got Pan W, and
I get in
you got
short
APP, dude.
toxic. I get in short toxic relationships, but I have commitment issues with the stocks themselves, which maybe that's the cause of the problem. But yeah, we get into these. There's a couple of stocks that I wrestle with. I think you guys have probably noticed. Meta is one of them. I don't know what it is about that stock, but it gets under my skin, and
I
I
can't
get
quit Pan W.
yeah
I'll get it.
yeah. He's mainlining Pan
I'm on it
W right
again.
now.
Look at it. Look at the setup though. It's fucking fire. It's bouncing at a 20. Look at the 24-hour on it.
Yeah,
God
I'm just
damn it.
joking.
I said I would never do it again, and here I am.
Stop.
I can't quit you.
What's this?
Look at
What
that level though.
do you mean on the Google or on Panda? Oh,
AVGO.
on AVGO or Panda View, yeah.
Yeah, there was that. That was a toxic relationship too.
Yeah, and
Although
look
I
at
think
it,
I
dude.
came out on top on that one.
You did knock that one out, and I'm honestly, yeah, because that is a wild, just all together is a wild setup. So
Yeah, I fucked that one up. I was up big, and I was gonna hold and not sell the double, and
I
I
remember
didn't.
that. I
And
think,
I paid for it. I was up 100%. I ended up losing almost the entire trade. That was
man,
totally my fault though.
yeah.
Greedy motherfucker on that one.
We all got to learn, man. All right, let's see Google. Google Green. Is it? I don't know, man. Oh yeah, it did flip. Okay, blew that candle up. All right. Well, I mean, it came, drew down, pulled that volume up. We'll see what tomorrow brings. That could help the cues. Which, by the way, look at this shit. Watch this. Oh my god. Oh, sorry, TikTok. You can't see this. Look, even though this is supposedly earnings, right? And it's it's the market just still operating within the system. Look at this 5 minute. Look at that. Right off of the fucking cost basis. Dump. Now, you have that box up above, and that's what's stopping you from moving past that. Obviously, if we see that tech reversal, then we might end up opening up in here, right in those 610s, but we'll see. All right. Does anybody have any questions? Did Google miss? Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Fuck. There you go. My bad, guys. Why can't I just be a good influencer? Influencer. What a fucking thing. All right. Anything else? Let's see here, guys. Visa up. Let's take a look at that one. Not yet, but soon. You got, well, possibly 332. Yeah, same thing that held you down. It's going to be the same thing that needs to let you loose. The only difference here is in the most recent price action. I actually see something kind of interesting right now. Nice. So some form of control is being incorporated here. But the reality is, and these channels, you cannot take their tops. Like remember Celsius? Do you guys remember the Celsius did that same thing? Where it had this channel right here. Perfect. It's already here. Channels are meant to be broken because they're just another form of control. Weaker than boxes, but Same concept, right? They're meant to be broken. So if you have empty space up above and your channel that was controlling price, more than likely what you're seeing was just a small part of that channel. So how hard is it for you to understand for your average hood? What is that? Oh, I can't. Oh my God, that was a trap. That's a ninja. I know what that means. I don't know. The fuck would I know about that? Brother, I have no idea. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. There's people, I mean, from every place in life, dog. I mean, there's so many people who are from I mean, people have all sorts of jobs. Professors, construction, garbage, facilitators, right? I word that right. I mean, dude, you name it. I mean, there's people all over the place. So I don't think that where you're from, it's just, and you want to learn. I don't care who you are, what you look like, man. If you can, if you want this and you want to learn how to do that, and you want to stop chasing signals, and you want to stop trying to pretend like having somebody tell you what to do with a delay is going to help you achieve financial success. If you can drop that shit and just dedicate yourself to learning without focusing on the timeline, because I get that money is the object, but understanding and being able to operate inside of a strategy is what brings the money. And it's like, prioritize that. I've had people who, I mean, Junior in here who's passing and getting paid out of funded accounts. He came in here asking questions a lot. And I mean, he was always here. He showed up. I think he had some work stuff, but like he showed up, and lo and behold, he's getting payouts. He's making money in the stock market. And I think he hasn't even, I think it's a year now, maybe 8 months to a year. So if Cade can get the strategy, oh my God, you can. That was a low blow, man. We're beating a dead horse here. All right. I want it bad, Potter. Give yourself to Potter, for he is gentle. Jose, how do you avoid fake outs? By acknowledging what is above and below, Lauren. So when you're looking at something breaking out, if it has resistance above, or second variable, if it rips really, really quickly and then starts to falter. Like if you see any sort of, like if you rip fast, you keep ripping. That's always, especially out of expansion. You're typically going to give that retest later on. But if you rip pop out first thing in the morning, a lot of the times those are going to be fake outs. So how's Elf doing? Let's look at Elf. All right, all right, all right, all right. Yeah, yeah. I almost stopped saying that because I thought we weren't on the floor. Yeah. So even if you don't want to trade options, man, just buying equity with this strategy slaps. This shit slaps, my boy. Redonkulous percentages, brother. Yep, about to hit 50% on this one. Let's fucking go, baby. Oh yeah, I've learned so much from just watching your lives and YouTubes. Hell yeah, man. All right. Did I chart IWM? I can for you. I kind of actually, you know what? You're right. I kind of didn't. Good thing is though, it didn't really move. All right. So let's have a moment here because this is it. This is the wave crashed. And what is this? It's so simple. And yes, if you can obviously trade a little bit in this range when that empty space is created, but I think now, right, with what is above, right, we know that there's a likely move to the upside off of this bounces, and again, this has to be recovered. If this bounce can clear into that 230 or 263 and 264, you could be looking for a punchback over 265, break of the 50% mark of the box into that pocket of empty space for a price target of 269. Now, because we're in a box and we have the liberty of reacting, right? Not trying to predict, but literally just reacting, there is more empty space for sure, right? Underneath IWM. However, we're going to have to sink our teeth into that 257. So either this is a retest, and here's how this would look to me, right? Tomorrow, if we open up, like, let's say maybe on this right here at 262, which seems likely. If you pop up, I would say watch that 263.30, and that's where we're looking at price action. And is it empty? Is it weak? Right? When it hits that mark, what's underneath it? And at that point, what we're trying to find out, right? We don't always have to trade these things. We're trying to problem solve. If that's a rejection, then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, right? We could be looking for another new low. But the fact of the matter is, expansion, contraction is what is happening now. So while it is coiling up, the trade, I think, is obviously in the or a little bit in the distance. So how much does it wait, did I read that right? What language is that? What exactly are you talking about? I was trying to understand what I'm reading. You probably have never talked about it before. I just never. Oh, I never understood what happened to Cade. Oh, okay. I didn't appreciate the things that he was saying behind my back about me, regardless of, again, how you feel about my political stance or whatever. Yeah, it's just a little more detailed than that. I just, yeah. All right. Very good. Like little tin bands, boy. All right. I don't know what it means though. Can I look at Hormel? Yeah. Did I look at Visa? I did, but don't think I finished that analysis. My bad. So same case. Yeah, I did. 332.16, and then because you have a 4-hour little range right here, you're looking to break through that range, and then you have a overhead 337, which will also be in confluence with that wick right there. And at that point, you're looking for that channel to break to give you your next target of 342, and the obvious gap fill that could be beyond or is beyond it. Where am I going to celebrate the big elf gains? My entire family has the flu, so nowhere. But also we ain't done yet. I am not done on this one. We got farther to go. The journey has just begun. But if I know anything about Elf, it sure does like to rip ass after earnings. So we could be at 115 tomorrow, or by the end of the week.
Anyone know why Broadcom ripped up?
Nope.
They don't have earnings for a few days.
You said ripped up. You got your chart upside down?
Broadcom.
Oh, Broadcom. I'm
AVG.
sorry. I'm sorry.
AVGO.
No, I do not. Chad just talked about him. Maybe bought like $1 billion worth. Chad. Yeah,
No,
I
I'm staying
don't.
away from that one. I did. I'm looking at Pan W for earnings in a couple weeks.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Didn't MCI have earnings?
SMC. Yeah, but it sucked. Nothing
Oh, it already
happened.
went back.
Yeah, nothing happened. In fact, it's got like a lot of empty space down tomorrow underneath 3340. I think that one's gonna dump back down to the 32s. All right, Sony has earnings in the morning. Oh well, fuck. I missed that one, didn't I? My bad. Yeah, I wouldn't have taken that one anyway. Wow. I think you could use, it looks like this might be a range right here. You kind of would want to use that to
Goo-
retest that floor. What's up? What's happening?
Google's buying 60 billion worth of Gemini, the software with Broadcom.
Google's okay. Should I get ARM because it's down? That's not an investing strategy, man. Buy the dip is keep dipping. I always have a strategic point, right? So in order for me to be bullish, the floor that you lost needs to be reclaimed. Not only that, it's above 108 that I would feel very confident in trying to look at that one to the upside. So while it is down, and it definitely did, if I'm looking at this correctly. So was it this green candle right here? It was. It was this green candle, and there's obviously some range in here on a lower time frame, but I would need to see something get recovered in order for me to. It's the same thing that I did. It's the same thing with Elf. Okay, um, Elf had uh, here when we first taken it. Right, I tried to take this one as it was leaving or about to leave the box, going into empty space, and I did this with equity again, acknowledging that because I don't have an expiration, I'm looking to capture the entire thing. It happened a lot faster than I expected, but again, I'm trading the chart, so who gives a shit, even me, about my expectations on how fast or slow. But this one absolutely ripped. And so I utilize the structure or boxes around me to place, or not only just place buys and use them as stop losses, but to know when something has been recovered, which is, it's not, that is never in the best interest of sellers who are trying to push price down. But once a floor is recovered, that those computers start beep boop and price starts moving up. So I use that structure around me not only to buy, but to know when something has a higher probability of reversing, or not. I shouldn't even say higher probability because when something punches back, I mean I'm bullish if there's empty space underneath it, so or above it.
Hey Potter, I have a quick question.
What's up, man?
In regards to swinging, because I
Hmm.
always get it. Well, I'm like a 50-50. I always hit right and then I always get wrong.
Hmm.
Um, like today, for the end of the day for the Qs, it couldn't even get past the 6-0.
The what?
Well, it couldn't reach the box above it
Right.
by the end of it. So like in that situation, isn't it more like showing, oh, it's weak in a way? So
Sure.
like why
But
would I
but
get it?
is being weak a signal? Or is that
No.
a right? So if we're taking a trade just based off of something we're perceiving it to be weak, which I mean, Qs are building a range, right now, and have held that floor. But with that being said, when something bounces right off of 600, but or off of a major level, but fails to recover anything, that's not there's no signal there, right? That is a lack of conviction for either side. And most of the time, when you're in between what you just bounced off of and what you need to recover, what happens? Boxes or range. So it's best when I mean, in this position, I'm already in position. So it makes sense for I'm just managing this trade and basing that off of price action. But for taking a position, we have to have something a little bit more solid than this. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. So right
So
now you would be like, nah, I wouldn't get in.
no,
There's
I don't
nothing.
think. Yeah, I don't really see. The only opportunity I see is to hedge. I given and I'm talking about tomorrow. Given a break over 608, moving up into the 610s, and listen, because we base everything off of the 24 hour, right? You could have the candle closed below this green candle. That could have been a signal, right? That's a downside signal because you have lost something. And so that can be taken into account. But once we have failed to lose what we need to lose next, now you have to create a lower time frame trade plan to try to get into that trade. And that's where we zoom back down and we look at the hourly. What are we doing now? 30-minute. What are we doing now? We're building a box. What do we have up above us? We have that and this floor. So if QQQ, which does look a little launchy right now, but if it shoots up, right, builds, moves up here, and then fails, right, and then we come closing down flat red, either at cost basis, which would still be red, down by the 24-hour, then you could start looking at a potential trade to the downside. Looking at the lower time frame. But those higher time frame signals, you know, they come and then they go. And once that target's been hit, or say something has not been recovered or has not been lost, there's a pause in decision making, and we're just observing if that's something that we still see an opportunity on. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, it definitely does. Thank you.
Stocks got blanked today. Thank God I had school. Shout out to the school, I guess. There's money to the downside, though. Oh, shit. My bad. All right. Did I do Irene yet? Hardly know her. I'm sorry. That was not good. Ivy, can you scrub that from history? Thank you.
It was AI.
Huh? It was AI. That's crazy. You knew that, dude. That's exactly what I was about to say. 24 hour. Oh, man. So was I, is this, that, if I'm not mistaken, is yeah, so you falsely broke out and then you have completely reversed back down. I'm gonna be honest with you, this thing's starting to look, and there's not much structure underneath you. So this is where it can get confusing, right? Because you're like, well, what is this? Like that's not really like a big This is where we get the opportunity to kind of narrate what have we been, like, how did we get here, right? Okay, built a box, right? Dumped down to our lows. We didn't really hit, there's not much structure here. Hit the 3334s, built, and then retested, right? And again, we're literally always doing box to box. So is this weakness, being unable to hold yourself up on the floor, right? Yes. 4 days in a row, you fail. So you got to go back down. This is a great opportunity to teach some of you guys who are new. If you don't have enough volume, right? And I what I'll do is, or metaphor, you know, as an analogy, sorry, I'll think of these as almost like you're climbing up a mountain, right? And you build a base camp where you store all your supplies. And if you head up to try to make it to that next camp where all the supplies are at the 50% mark, and you don't have enough to make that journey, you got to go back. And you got to go get that volume. So that way you can set up camp up here. So what happens? Price pulls back down. It doesn't have enough. It pops back up. You get a green candle close on the floor. Now this is Irene, and this is not a perfect box. But price then is allowed to expand, consolidate for just a few days around cost basis. I would bank on that probably being a lower time frame box in there. And then you expand back up, right? Because you have built camp, right? You got the volume back. Now you have somewhere to actually build with support underneath you. And price is then able to push through that box. This is empty space. Price moves up. Oops. Fills that empty space, consolidates. It does give a little bit of extra high, which I think was also empty space on a lower time frame. And then you punch down, right? And that is what is happening, or has happened today. That box right there, you pop down, retest cost basis, build, and then flush. Lower volume stocks. So the difference, right? Irene, it's got some volume, but this is when we zoom out. Pretty wicky, pretty choppy, right? Not super duper clear, and there's not a ton of empty space up there. Letting the range develop can be tedious. All the more reason to be patient and prepared. Facts. But with that being said, and now again, this box and its volume has been used, so we know that we can get rid of that. And what we're going to do is focus on this most recent price action. Okay, I don't have and a lot of the times this is where people get confused. So I got to find points of contact. So 1, 2, 3, pop, retest, hold. That's 47.80. So where are we now? Creating a lower time frame box around cost basis, which again, this is going to be typical of that stock. So here's some analysis I can give you for the next 48 hours. You can box, and this is for real. You can box this up, translate that down to the 30 minute. There's that box. And outside of 46.75, that's where that empty space and the box above would be liable to be retested. So, best advice, don't leave markings on charts. Market makers pay brokerages to gather info on marks. I'd have to go research that one myself, brother. I don't know how much it
Cap too.
it's never bothered me. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, dude. Well, yeah, never bothered me at all. The only bad ones that I've taken is because I could go back and be like, you know what? Actually, that was probably not the right one. All right. Let's see. So juicy, dude. So juicy. What is? Yeah, journaling my trades has humbled me every time. Yeah, you get a real look at yourself. And I tell you, man, like these software services that are the fucking trade tracking apps, even some of the more simple ones, the ones that give you feedback on like where you can see where you got in, look at is day trading what you're losing at the most, is swing trade, like you get to really see what's working and focus on what's working. If you already have an aptitude for things that move quickly and you know that, and you're good at responding, then maybe scalping or day trading it might be for you. Or maybe you like something a little bit slower, and based on the 24-hour, and you're swinging. So, is it possible if you get in a position to the downside and it punches back up in your box, should you exit? Yeah. So I typically when this is actually the beautiful thing about my system is that it is mechanically based, and the only variable can be is what instrument you're using to trade it. If you're using options, there's always the Greeks that can get involved, and that obviously is where you have to know. Like let's just I'm gonna make up a scenario here. Let's say I took a short on Irene at 52.80, right, off of maybe the rejection of this small box overhead, and this lost its floor. Let's say I bought this week's contracts and I just have runners, I don't need someone to tell me that if it breaks outside of this box or moves through that range there, that it would fill that empty space up. So I would use that as a stop loss. But if it was a longer expiration trade, right, and I'm looking to take it down to 21, and I expect that retests are likely going to happen, then it could be, or would more than likely be, when that floor is recovered, that you would get out of that trade, because the concept is if you can recover that floor, then you can just take it when it fucking loses it. You don't have to sit and that's where logic can get, supersede the want to fight something, to be right. But theta does kill. A swinger, you say? No pineapples, brother. No pineapples. I'll throw a pineapple at Wall Street every day. All right. Me tink me going. Oh my God, I love this image. Chop those green bars up, baby. Breaking, the Space Bureau has reportedly accepted filing for SpaceX application for data center that will orbit in space. Doesn't this sound like some supervillain shit a little bit? Am I tripping? I mean, it's some sci-fi shit. That's pretty cool, but dude, having a
It does.
has jurisdiction in space. Like, imagine Elon shoots himself up to his new data center, and there's also lasers in them. He starts shooting us with lasers, dude. What do you? I'm just kidding. All right, let's see. What's Google doing now? Google went up and tapped the highs, but is maintaining the range, which I guess if this holds this range overnight, you get the liberty of reacting. So, I mean, a lot of the times, listen, a lot of the times this is the best scenario. It actually takes me back to a Hershey trade that I took, and I think maybe I've traded Hershey's like, I don't even know, maybe like 5 times, 4 times in my entire life. But it had earnings, and it didn't move. And I think, yeah, I think it was back here in May. And this one it had earnings. It didn't move that morning. I saw empty space and a box and cost basis above it. And sure as shit, that shit breaks. Skynet in space. Yeah, that would do it. The internet will definitely call us data center. That man's just moving like the files didn't just come out, but whatever. All right. I'm going to take one more little peek. If anybody has any gains in the Discord, you want to post, whatever it may be. Congrats to those of you guys who are holding. How many of you guys are going to be beautiful with me? How many beauty queens in the Discord?
Equity in there.
There it is. That's a beautiful guy right there.
Hello, princess.
I didn't say that.
Oh,
That's actually fucking perfect. God, she's good with those fucking sound bites, dude. You know what, Ivy?
that's her new job.
No. I'm just thinking, like, if she ever wanted to, like what? That's like mad people's jobs, like radio shows. You know what I'm saying? Like podcasts and shit like that, or even that shit's so on point. Nah, she can't go anywhere though. You have to stay here. Wait. Oh, wait. The moon has just been man-made data center this whole time. You know what? I'll hit that pipe. No, I'm just kidding. How do you get in the Discord? Secret handshake. You have to websites, pottersockstrading.com.
It sounds like where they want to hide the next set of Epstein files up in the data center in the sky.
We already have enough. You know, I feel like and yeah, we'll talk about it another time. It's pretty wild.
I got a question.
Yeah, what's up, brother?
Do you see Apple going up any further? Because right now, it's where I have it. It's like a double. It's like 2 boxes almost on top of each other, and it's closed like right up against the top of the box under it.
You
Yeah,
are
that
correct.
one.
Yeah, you are correct. Now let's so when I see this kind of messy, right? And one thing, this is having attention to detail, right? We're pulling this down. We're trying to get this candle to stay right down underneath that or stay above that, right? So what I like to do is just drop down. There it is. See it? Nice and clean. And then to your point, and you are correct, there it is. So what happens now, right, is this cost basis and that cost basis ping pong, right? If nobody can pick a side. Now we can go down a little bit further and see if we can find any holes. And I'm seeing some. You seeing them? I'm seeing them. Right? I have a tough time giving it that wick, but we're going to give it the bodies because the body is clear. And then we're going to, so there it is, right? We're not focused. So real quick. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry. God damn it. I keep doing that. I keep pulling the display off. And then okay. So anyway, oh man, that sucks. So real quick, right? And again, going back to what I said, 24-hour chart, right? It's not super clear, but we can see the compression on that 2-sip. So I want to clear that up. Now it's clean. Now it's clear. I see the same box up above me. It's clear. There's empty space. So the opportunity to keep going up, yes, could be potentially here. As well, right, as this being the main resistance for the highs. So for sure. But guaranteeing that it goes higher is based off of a reaction to cost basis above, right? And that's it. So when I look at this setup, I'm going to tell you what I would like to see. And this is just good old fashioned National Geographic price action, baby. Down, floor, empty, what's underneath us, right? And this is obviously if that floor is lost, but this is a preference. 1, 2, 1. And yes, I mean, if we stay 3, but I don't like to leave empty space down below. I think 271, and because it's down here, 270.69. Now, how can we tell when something's falling if it's going to bounce, right? It falls really, really quickly. And bounces, right? Because obviously we're in a market where we kind of have to pay attention to the trajectory of the overhead market to gauge that. Holy shit. Oh man. I'm recovering from the flu, guys. Sorry. All right. So anyway, that being said, I would like to see this thing pull down. Oop, shit. Retest and then punch back to give you that extra fuel. Again, it is possible that you stay in that range, but I feel like it makes you a little weaker. Silver sideways. I think that was the diagnosis, right? Yes. With all that empty space, you know what's so fucked about this is they made it so tradable, so much money, and then look at what's happening now. You get a bounce, cool. You gap up, and you get nowhere. I mean, literally, you basically fall. You're red. It's actually 2 red candles moving higher. So at best, yeah, range. But I do see that $88 as a retest level for sure. Sandus. Yeah, well, dude, it's a high volatility thing, man. Damn, did that really, brother? Come on, dude. If what I was saying was bullshit, I wouldn't pop into charts and just see shit like that. That's fucking diabolical. But the fact that you're trying to go and get a recovery of that channel is worth it. I mean, I think that's worth it. Yeah, holy fuck, what the hell? That is, I hardly ever see that ever. Wow, that's got good volume. That's a day trading stock for sure. Watch this. Ugh. Redonkulous. And then 15-minute. Not as clear, but there's a box right there. All right. What time is it? 4:45. All right. Okay, I've been live for 2 hours here. We'll be live tomorrow morning, and I'll definitely try and be on YouTube and TikTok about 8:30, a little bit early. I don't know what tonight's going to bring. I've had to, I mean, no excuse, but I have to be up basically with the kids every couple hours, and sometimes I'm up for a couple hours. So if I'm a little late, you know, give me some cut me a little slack. But hopefully when the kids get better, which should be, I just sweated my fever out yesterday, so hopefully they're right behind me and back to our regular scheduled programming. So guys, sell now. TP 490.50 open. TP FX Harry Trader. Get your ass out of here, my boy, with your dumbass Telegram account, my boy. Oh my God. If you were that good, you wouldn't be in my life. I think there's a virus going around. Yeah, we got the flu, dude. That flu type A. Type A, baby. Yeah. ENPH. Yeah, I think that's a monster. Everybody you know got sick. Listen, you know how I knew everybody was sick in the damn area? I mean, the nurse did say it, but I went to order soups. You guys sent, or I got actually a shipment of soups from one of the members in the Discord. And by the way, thank you guys, or especially you, Ivy and hold on, what D-Train, that's right. I just didn't want to say the wrong name. Thank you guys, by the way, for the freezer pops and stuff. I'm going to be forcing my kids to eat them when they come in tomorrow. So this is the first time I've had, ooh, gross. I've had the flu in since I was 16. I'm 33. Probably nothing. I know what you're talking about, Steve, on Bitcoin and I actually, I mean, man, you got this box right here. Bitcoin has not responded to the top of that box. Wow. So yeah, you got a 69 as a target coming quick. Today's wick was off of the bottom of that box. Oof. Yeah, 69.3 is going to be that next small bounce. You getting old, dog? Yeah, I know, man. My birthday's
real
in.
quick,
Yo, what's up, brother?
flip your chart upside down on PTSG.
Wait,
Sorry, PSTG.
I got dyslexia, so I probably would have fucked it up anyway. You said turn it upside down?
Yeah, 24.
Yeah, it looks pretty fucking clear. I like that you're using that. Yeah. Um, Obviously we'll correlate. Yeah, okay. Very good. Okay, off the floor is 65.38 and then 61.60 and $60. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. I think yes, this will be on YouTube. Holy shit. Yeah, it will be actually. Let me what if I have me uploading the YouTube? No, you can't do that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the